Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review and taking a quick break from Power Rangers. Here we have the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series, the Cobra Commander Regal variant that will be exclusive to Hasbro Pulse. Now, there is a long story when it comes to this, so I'll try to make it as short as possible. So the network app said, hey, we have an exclusive drop, which is basically an exclusive pre-order or order time window for the Cobra Commander. This is the figure that they showed, saying, hey, this is the figure that you're going to get. Order it here on the network app at this time, or whatever the case may be. Turns out just before it was going to go up for pre-order, they then switched the image to reflect this Cobra Commander. And everyone was going crazy thinking, well, what the hell happened? They released a statement saying Hasbro mistakenly sent them that version, and this is the version that you will get. This is the version that they did ship out. Hasbro Pulse had a Fan First Friday for G.I. Joe Classified and released a statement, which was the same email that Network had released saying, we made a mistake, blah, 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 yada, yada. They make figures in advance with planned future releases and whatnot. So this particular figure, what happened is they sent Network the wrong figure to promote, and that's kind of how it is. So to make everyone happy, they put this version up for pre-order and had an exclusive time window. I think it was like 30 days back in July, I think it was. And you had to put in a pre-order for it with a release date of December 15th. So December 15th is coming up. I'm sure they will be shipping those out. If you missed out on that pre-order, no telling when or if they will have more available or how that's going to work out. I would expect that this version will get a release somewhere else down the line. So if you don't get it now, I'm sure you will be able to get it later on. I don't know if this is going to go for crazy money or what the case may be, but I think it will get a regular release later on down the line. But as you can see, there are some big differences in it, mainly in the blue color, because we get a lighter blue color, lots of gold, weapons are painted differently and all of that, but everything else is the same. So looking at the box, we actually get the same artwork on the side. There is no change whatsoever to the packaging itself. As far as the UPC, they do have different UPCs though, not that that matters because you can't buy it in store anyway. So there it is. Now let's get Cobra Commander out of the box. Okay, and here is the Regal variant Cobra Commander figure out of the package. So, lo and behold, there's really not anything different from this figure other than the paint deco. The figure is the exact same. The accessories are the exact same. So let's zoom in closer and take a look at those accessories, and we'll compare them to the first original release, and we'll do the side-by-side. We still will go over articulation, but just know that it is the same figure. Okay, so looking at the swords, this is the original one. We had chrome for the Cobra, gold for the Cobra and a nice silver for the blade. Here on the Regal variant, we get that similar gold for most of the hilt and everything, the little handle portion. The blade itself is actually a reddish color and not silver, but the golds are not the exact same either. As you can see, this is a much brighter gold. This one is not nearly as shiny, and mainly just the plastic. So that is the big difference there, but it is the same mold, no difference. The same goes for the gun, the weapon. The silver is the one with the original release, and then we get the gold plastic one with the Regal variant. So that is the only difference. It is the same gun. And then as far as additional accessories, he comes with the right hand pointing finger and the left fist, which are the same exact ones. These are a dark blue color compared to the original release, which had black gloves. So that is it for the accessories. Let's look at the figures. Okay, so here is a close-up look at the Cobra Commander Regal variant, and very nicely done. Again, it is the same figure though. I do want to stress that, so you're not going to see any differences in anything other than, again, the paint deco. So here we get a much brighter blue, baby blue, sky blue, whichever blue you want to call it. So as you can see there, we get some dark blue in the top of the helmet and on the sides a little bit. We get that gold trim there, and then we still have that same chrome look for that faceplate mask. That looks really good. Here, these straps are all gold, a little bit of red in there, and then into the cape with red on the inside of the cape. And that's really not so much different. The original release was black, and then the straps and everything was a black color. There was some silver and gold on there, but here we get kind of opposites, all mainly gold, but there's some added red there. And then again, light blue into dark blue, where we had a dark blue and black with a little bit of silver trim. And then just like, you know, I'm looking at it, and people always mention this before, that silver line doesn't continue on here. But that's because it's not supposed to, right? It's a flap over, so that's not a flap there. That's why there's no silver paint there. So of course, there's not going to have any of that gold paint going on there. But that looks really good. I like the gold accents. Those are really nice. And it's similar to that. This one had gold buttons as well. And we get that continuing on there. Gold on the gauntlet piece. But that's a dark blue, not a black. Red for the Cobra logo. So it all looks done quite nicely. Looking at the boots, we get a dark blue boot, but we get some gold accenting and trim on there. And look at those armor pieces to the boot are painted in gold. Looking very nice. And there's actually the strap right there actually has black paint on there. So a minor little detail that they easily could have overlooked and not painted. And surprisingly, hey, they added black paint to that. So very nice. I like that. So again, same figure, just different color. Now, when it was first revealed and shown, it was cool, yeah. But then they showed this one. I'm thinking, well, I think the dark blue actually looks better. But now having it in hand, I actually really like the Regal colors a lot better. It's more classic with the brighter blue. But the gold and the blue really go well, nice together, which sounded weird. They go really well together. So the Regal variant, I like a lot more. Just really stands out more. So let's zoom out and see the side-by-side. Okay, so the side-by-side, you guys let me know down in the comments below which one you prefer. Do you like the darker blue original release, or do you like the new brighter blue and gold Regal variant? Now, Cobra Commander, this one is actually going to be coming out again with the release of Flint and Lady J. So that case pack, I forget what the case pack breakdown is going to be, but those three are going to be packed together. So Cobra Commander coming out again. I would have for sure thought it was going to be this version of Cobra Commander, because I think Hasbro Pulse said that this would release eventually anyway, and that this early release was just because of that whole debacle with Network. So I am surprised. We just seen today, it was announced that the new Wave 3, which would have been Wave 4, but the new Wave 3 was Zartan and the Cobra Infantry Trooper. That one is getting case packed along with Scarlet and Roadblock again, but the colors have changed. So new deco on Scarlet and Roadblock to kind of more resemble classic colors. So none of that bright gold on Roadblock. It's going to be actually muted colors with like black knee pad and black boots. So Cobra Commander, again, with those little minor color changes and not changing the number on the box, this is still number 6. So I really, really, really would have thought this would be the release in that case pack. And maybe that will change eventually down the line. I just can't imagine Hasbro is really going to just be shoving Cobra Commander down our throat, because that was case pack of 3 last time in Wave 2, which was insane. But as I say that, I also have to mention that this is technically the 3rd Cobra Commander figure, because I also have the Snake Supreme. PulseCon should have been San Diego Comic-Con release. So, you know, I say I can't believe Hasbro is going to shove Cobra Commander down our throats, and yet, you know, we also have this one here. So let's get that one out and take a look at all 3 side by side. Okay, so here we have our 3 Cobra Commander figures side by side, and then I had mentioned about the flap of the jacket. We got the gold line right down here on his left side. That gold stripe really shouldn't be there, and I think it would make a little bit more sense overall, even though it may look a little funny, because I think they wanted kind of that separation between the black of his suit and then the print of the design there in front. So it is what it is on that one. But the Cobra Commander figures all look really good together. And then the original release is really my least favorite. The Snake Supreme version is just too awesome and amazing. The overall aesthetic of the figure with what Hasbro did is clearly going to be my number 1, but the Regal variant Cobra Commander is still a very good one, and I do hope it gets a regular release so everyone has the chance to get their hands on it. But I will say that that pre-order window was open for 30 days, if not longer, so there was plenty of time to get a pre-order in. So if you missed it, you know, you're gonna have to wait until then, or if you're gonna want to pay more, because I would imagine people are gonna probably price it pretty high. You know, it definitely would have been worth putting in that pre-order, because, you know, they don't charge until the time that it ships. So if you missed out on it, that sucks. But again, the pre-order was open for 30 days, so I'm curious to know if you didn't pre-order, what kept you from putting in that pre-order. I get it though, 3 Cobra Commanders this early in a line that's still way under a year. We're looking at by the time Snake Eyes came out, what, March? So we're looking at, you know, 9 months, and we have 3 Cobra Commander figures. I don't mind it. They're all different enough, and when you look at like a variant, this one's kind of an exclusive, so it kind of throws everything off. But I certainly don't mind it, because when they do the deco changes, I don't mind. Now, the Scarlet and Roadblock, that's a whole different story. The Beachhead with blue eyes, brown eyes, that's a different story. Cobra Trooper with black collars and blue collars, those are all kind of weird things. When they do something like this, I definitely don't mind it at all. And then, of course, I'm a completist when it comes to these action figure lines, so I get them all. You guys don't have to, but I am curious to know what you guys like the most. Is it the regular release, the Snake Supreme, or the Regal variant? Now let's look at the articulation. Okay, so Cobra Commander, this figure is kind of stiff, but he can look down that much. He can look up that much there. Again, the neck is on a hinge, but the neck also has its own point of articulation in there, but mine is very stiff and isn't going to really work a whole lot. There should be some pivot in there, but mine really doesn't. But I do get the full swivel, of course. You can get the arms to go up this high, basically straight out. Of course, you can get a full rotation. You have to kind of watch out for the pauldron here on the Cobra Commander. The figure has a bicep swivel, upper bicep swivel there. You get a double jointed elbow, which gives you a solid bend. As you can see, you can touch his face and everything. You have a wrist swivel, and they do hinge. The left hand is the standard hinge. The right hand is the vertical hinge. There is a butterfly joint in there, so you can get the arm to go back a little bit and can get to come forward a little bit as well. We have an ab crunch on here, which has probably one of the ugliest ab crunches, because you look at that joint back there, that is just terrible. But he can bend forward that much. Going back, he can go back that much, but again, very ugly joint there in the middle, the way they designed it. It doesn't really bend in with the figure. Now, this one is a little bit different. I don't have kind of that waist ball that kind of gets some movement in there. It's there, but it's kind of hard to work, but you can get some swivel going on in there. Legs go out that far apart only, so not a whole lot. He can kick forward that high, which is pretty decent. There is an upper thigh cut in there. You get a double jointed knee like so. There is a boot swivel in there. Foot hinges all the way down, hinges up a little bit, ankle pivot, and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So he's not the most movable in the G.I. Joe Classified Series line, but he does have all those same points of articulation. You just don't get as much range in them. Okay, so my final thoughts on it. Yes, this figure is just a repaint, redeco, easy pass for a lot of you guys. For me, as a completist, it's something that I have to have. So the Regal variant Cobra Commander is my second favorite Cobra Commander in terms of a wide release. Hopefully everyone can get their hands on all 3 of these. The Snake Supreme one, you know, that PulseCon thing, and it being a pre-order for March, which was pretty crazy. So hopefully you guys all got orders in on it. Hopefully you got an order in that exclusive time window for the Regal variant. Hasbro Pulse should be shipping out starting December 15th. Hopefully you guys will have it before Christmas Day if you're on the West Coast. There's no chance of that because Hasbro uses FedEx Ground, and FedEx is the absolute slowest, especially during the pandemic now, which I get it. But the Regal variant, you guys let me know in the comments below, which is your favorite Cobra Commander. Is this an easy pass for you, or is it a must-have? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.